This. This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of changemakers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to another live stream brought to you by the admissions office at UNC Greensboro. My name is Trey. I am our host this evening, and today we are talking specifically to parents and family members of future and prospective future Spartans. So let's go ahead and introduce our panel. We have got a panel of experts who are all here to help us out and give you the right knowledge. I'm going to go with the box that is right next to mine. That is Dr. Andrew Hamilton. Andrew, tell us who you are and what you do here at UNCG.
Sure, everybody. Hi, I'm Andrew Hamilton. I'm Associate Vice Provost for Student Success and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. I mostly do what Dana and Kim, who are also here, tell me, but I'm responsible for making sure that students and families have what they need in order to be successful in their undergraduate careers here at the G.
Fantastic. All right, and speaking of Kim, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Sousa-Peoples. So I oversee new student transitions and first-year experience. So we take students right from admissions, make sure they're transitioning to UNCG successfully. So you'll see us over the summer at Soar, and then right as we kick off the fall semester with welcoming programs and a lot of support services and programs throughout your first year.
Love it. Thank you. And very closely related to Soar is Dana Saunders from our Students First office. Dana, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here with you tonight. My name's Dana Saunders, and I'm the director of the Students First office here at UNCG. The Students First office is one of multiple advising centers here on campus. So we work with your student to help them develop their course schedule every semester, map out a semester by semester graduation plan, and think about how their academic pursuits are going to connect to their career goals in the long term so that they're ready to go upon graduation. So looking forward to talking with you about those things tonight.
Love it. Thank you so much, Dana. All right, and in the square beside Dana is Deborah Slade from Financial Aid. Deborah, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast tonight. I'm Deborah Slade, Assistant Director for Outreach in the Financial Aid Office. And I work to help students learn how to pay for college and to help navigate them through that process. And so hopefully tonight we can get your questions answered and get you off to a great start.
Fantastic. Money is very important, and very closely related to paying for college is getting a job after college, and that is what Megan Walters is here to do. So Megan, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Thanks so much, Trey. Hey, y'all, my name is Megan Walters, and I have the pleasure to serve as Associate Director for Career Development here at UNC Greensboro. And what that means is that I help students get ready for career success. That comes in the form of internships, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, and all the application materials that it takes to make that happen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Megan. And the theme of tonight is talking with parents and family members, and we have got a parent of a current UNCG student and also the chairperson of our Parent and Family Advisory Council, and that is Cynthia. So Cynthia, tell us who you are here and how you connect to UNCG.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Rivera Kelly. I am a mother of a junior at UNCG. And what we do we call it PFAC, it's Parent and Family Advisory Council. But what we do at at PFAC is we hopefully help parents to bridge the gap between high school and college and kind of setting the expectations. You want to, let them fly and gain that independence, but you also want to feel that you're a part of the UNCG family. And that's hopefully what we do here at PFAC.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today with us on this stream. And for our viewers out there, I do want to tell you that our questions have already been submitted to us. We sent out an email to a bunch of parents and family members to ask them what they are most interested in hearing about. So we do have a lot of questions that we have already gathered from you. So hopefully we will be able to answer those questions today. Now, if you do have any other questions, of course, you can let us know. Please do text us what your questions are, and you can see that number there on the bottom of your screen. So if you have any questions, of course, let us know. But let's go ahead and start answering anything that we have from our already gathered group. So I'm going to start with Andrew, because academics is what we do really, really well here at UNCG. And I talked to you a while ago, and you said that we are very good at successing students. So in your own words, is there an option to do first-year classes online instead of in person in the fall? I know that we are still sort of in the middle of the pandemic. We're coming to the end of it, I hope, but let us know what we can do.
Yeah, well, thanks, Trey. You're right. We success students left and right all day long around here, and we're really proud of that. We are a leader in North Carolina, the leader in North Carolina, in making sure, especially that our low income students succeed. So you can check the U.S. News and World Report. You don't have to take my word for it. So we're really proud to be leading in the state and also among the top 20 or 25 in the nation. Okay, so what can you do in the fall? Trey doesn't know what he's talking about. Trey's not a doctor. I'm not a doctor either. And maybe it is true that we're coming to the end of the pandemic, but maybe it isn't. So we need to continue to exercise a whole lot of caution. I know Trey knows this because we've talked about it. We need to continue to exercise a whole lot of caution until we get the all clear from the experts. So here's the plan. We are going to be much more in person in the fall than we were this past fall. And the reason is that most of us on campus will have been vaccinated. And that gives us some options and opportunities. So we're running a vaccine clinic on campus. So I think by now, most of the faculty and staff are vaccinated. We, however, the current plan is to maintain the 6 foot specified physical distance in the classrooms. So we have revised classroom capacities, the maximum capacities at the COVID level, which is where they currently are for spring term and where they were for last fall. However, we're going to make sure that those rooms are full most of the day. So here's a direct answer to the question, Trey. Thanks. Most of we have prioritized freshman enrollment in in-person courses. And the reason is we're an in-person residential, honest to goodness university. We know that our incoming freshman students have been languishing in online learning for the last year. We know they need the structure of an in-person instructor and their peers, and we're providing that to them in a privileged way. So when we built the class schedule, we made sure that freshman courses were in person. Does that mean you can't have an online option? No, it doesn't mean that. We are offering online options at about the same rate as we did, or about the same proportion as we did before the pandemic. So about 15 or 18% of our course offerings will be online. Students who have serious challenges or who are caretakers for others who need online options should get in touch. They should get in touch with me at ugdean@uncg.edu, or they should reach out to Dana Saunders at the Students First Office, and we'll get them sorted out as best we can. Thanks, Trey.
Yeah, happy to do it, and thank you. And you're right, I'm not a doctor, so what do I know? But we are hoping that everything is going to be back to normal, well, as normal as can be. And thank you.
We would love to reduce the physical distancing requirements, and maybe that's on the horizon because that allows us all to have something like a more normal college experience. But we're already providing something much more like a normal college experience this fall compared to last fall.
Fantastic. All right, well, let's go to the next box over and talk with Kim about Soar. Now, what exactly is Soar, and what does the Soar office do for students?
Sure. So SOAR is an acronym, Spartan Orientation, Advising, and Registration. SOAR is a new student orientation that's required for new students. And so this summer, SOAR will again be virtual. So we'll have some sessions in June that students will register for. They'll watch some videos, there's resources, and then there's live parts of the day. And that's really the part that we're most excited about. Our student orientation leaders, current students who work with us serve as orientation leaders, and they're going to be hosting smaller group sessions for students. So it'll give our incoming students a chance to meet an orientation leader who kind of knows the ropes, but it's also going to give them an opportunity to meet in small groups with other incoming students. And we know how important that is in any year, and particularly in a year where the virtual format, it's been challenging for students to make new friends, and as they come into the UNCG experience, we want to make sure that they know a few other students so that when they get here in the fall, there's some faces that are familiar. And we'll keep that contact going on throughout the summer. So the SOAR office does SOAR. And for parents and families, there is a SOAR program for you as well. You'll register for that. There will be recorded sessions. And then throughout the month of June, we are going to do additional Q&A sessions on different topics where you'll be able to watch, ask questions. We'll have some questions that you can send in advance, but then we can take some during those sessions. There will be one session in June that is dedicated just to parent and family resources. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that information, all found on our website, soar.uncg.edu. And then our office does other things too. So in the fall, we'll be welcoming students in, and we will be able to do a little bit more in person this fall. So we will be able to greet your students. They'll get lots of swag and fun stuff, and then be able to see their new classmates in person. We do welcome activities, and then we do a lot of programs for the first year to help students be successful in their first year. All of it is on our website if you want to kind of check out some of the cool programs that we offer throughout the whole first year, called Your First Year Programs.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much. Now, I do want to jump down to Cynthia, because as a parent of a current UNCG student, you went through the process of going through SOAR. Now, you did do it a little bit differently when we were in person, but how, as a parent, were you supported and guided through the orientation and welcoming process for your student?
I think it ran several different areas. We were able to view dorms. We were able to eat in the cafeteria. I don't know how that's going to play itself out with everything that's going on, but however it plays out, UNCG has always made me feel like I was important. In the beginning, I felt like the only time that I ever heard anything was kind of tuition time. But as I engaged myself with PFAC and learn the different departments and kind of immerse myself from a parental point of view in UNCG, I have never once felt like UNCG did not support my student and was not actively engaged in his success. My story is a little different. I have a student with an intellectual disability, so he didn't have to go the traditional route. And he's in the Beyond Academics program. But whatever, challenge we have faced, UNCG has absolutely 100% met and helped us to navigate the kind of untraditional waters. I hope that answered.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Okay. It's always nice to hear, that feedback from our parents and family members to say that, I think we're doing the right thing, because we don't know unless you tell us. So thank you so much, Cynthia. All right, I will go ahead and jump down to Dana in the Students First office. And I want to know, Dana, will my student be able to meet with their academic advisor during SOAR so that way they can figure out their classes?
Yeah, great question. So we will have a live session at every SOAR session that's going to be a college or school welcome that will include academic advisors from each of your students' schools or colleges. And there will also be a session for our exploratory or undecided students as well. So your student will have an opportunity to interact live and ask questions and learn about how their class schedule has been built. They won't necessarily meet one-on-one with an advisor during their virtual SOAR experience, but they'll have an opportunity to do that after they attend SOAR, learn a little bit about how their schedule has been built for them, and then have an opportunity to schedule a one-on-one or small group appointment with an academic advisor following their SOAR session if they've got follow-up questions or want to tweak their schedule. I'll just mention, since your question, Trey, specifically revolved around course schedules, our incoming students have a really unique opportunity in that as part of their SOAR reservation, your student will have completed what's called the College Class Schedule Interest Inventory. And so as part of that, if your student hasn't had a chance to do that already, they certainly will when they go in and make their SOAR reservation. They learn a little bit about the general education program at UNCG, which is a compilation of courses that all of our students are required to take regardless of their major. And then they'll have a chance to give feedback about what their interests are academically, the types of courses that they're most interested in taking, not just in their major, but as they're exploring all of the different academic areas at UNCG. And also give some general feedback about what they're looking for in a course schedule. Do they like to take classes in the morning? Do they like to sort of block their classes all together? Or are they looking for an opportunity to break things up throughout the day? And our academic advisors use all of that really helpful information that we get from students about their preferences and actually pre-register students for a full schedule worth of courses that will be a starting point for them in the fall. Now that schedule is not set in stone, and so students will learn more during that college and school welcome at SOAR, all the different pieces and sort of information and decision making that went into that schedule. But again, once they have a chance to view that following their SOAR session, they'll have an opportunity to tweak that, meet one-on-one or in a small group with their academic advisor to make changes, and also start talking about long-term. I think a lot of times when students are meeting with their academic advisor, they're really thinking about what's my course schedule for the upcoming semester. But one of the really most valuable ways that academic advisors work with students is helping them piece together their schedule across all 4 years, all 8 semesters, into a sort of cohesive, comprehensive plan that makes sense based upon their career and academic goals and the collegiate experience that they want to have in the classroom.
Fantastic. Well, one of my questions was going to be, do we have the ability to tweak our schedule, or is a schedule made for us? But I think you just covered all of that, and the answer is yes to both of those questions. Alrighty, let's touch a little bit on financial aid. So Deborah, how do you add work study to your financial aid package? And there may be a bigger question here of what is work study and how do you get it?
Yeah, well, work study is a federal program. It's an opportunity for students to have a job either on campus or at an off-campus location. They will earn funds to help them with their incidentals, their personal expenses. But it is offered as part of the total financial aid award. So we do that when we start the initial awarding process. Typically, that award will show up on the award letter or in the award information. However, there are limited funds, so we're not able to always offer a work study to every student who's eligible. However, if you did not have work study on your award, if you've already received your financial aid award and work study was not offered, and you feel like, well, maybe I'm eligible, we ask that you send an email to finaid@uncg.edu and just ask us to review your file. And we can determine whether or not you're eligible. And if you are, we will put you on a waiting list so that when funds are freed up, and that typically does happen, we have students who are offered it who may decide not to accept it, or maybe they're graduating and they no longer need that. But for whatever reason, sometimes we are able to offer funds to students on a wait list. So we will put your name on a wait list. And then once those funds are available, we will add that to your financial aid award. And then you have the opportunity to accept it or decline it if you choose to do that. But I want to encourage you, if you still are not able to get work study, that is not your only employment option. And Megan can probably give you a little bit more information on how that works, because Megan's office also handles the student employment on campus. And there are other employment opportunities that are not work study related that are available to students. So there are other work opportunities for you.
Well, I think that is a perfect segue into talking with Megan. Megan, how can I get a job on campus if I don't qualify for work study?
Such a great question. I was able to pull some numbers to give you a snapshot of how many jobs are offered and how many students accept them on a typical annual basis. And it can run anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 jobs on campus per year. And that includes federal work study, but the vast majority of that number is not federal work study. The opportunities for you to work on campus are, they can feel endless. Whatever skill set you're trying to build, whatever workplace environment you really are interested in, we can find an opportunity on campus for you. Some of our students work as lifeguards in the Kaplan Wellness Center. Some students work in the biology department, helping to manage schedules and market events that are happening for that academic program. There are so many different things that you can do. Dana mentioned that over the summer, when you are participating in Soar and you have that opportunity to connect with your academic advisor, that there will be opportunities also to make changes to that schedule. But once you get that first one all said and done, about 2 weeks after Soar, you will get access to our essentially our job board. It's called Handshake. And so as soon as that date has passed and we have loaded you into the system, you'll be able to start looking for opportunities. So you do not have to wait until the fall to find an opportunity to work on campus. Our team will be available to help you craft a resume that will get you through the process, and we'll be ready to watch you land a great opportunity on campus. We also have a lot of local opportunities for part-time work. One of our biggest recruitment events happens about the second or third week of the fall semester, and people who are still looking for work opportunities have access to close to 1,000 part-time jobs. And those are in the local to Greensboro area, and more we're seeing virtual work opportunities too. So if you want to work, we can almost guaranteed make it happen while you're a student.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Megan. I know working on campus or while you're in school can be a little bit scary at first because, you know, your freshman year, you want to say, I'm here to learn and I'm here to do well in my classes, but I also want to go out to eat sometimes. So I'm sure Megan in the Career and Professional Development Office and our career fairs would absolutely be able to help out anyone who is wanting to have a job while they are here at school. Now,
Trey,
yeah,
I just want to also say that on-campus part-time jobs are really accessible because a lot of times those are somewhere between 4 and 10 hours a week. So as overwhelming as it might feel to think about how I'm going to manage classes and work and having a life and enjoying Greensboro and UNCG, it can happen. And employers love to see part-time jobs on your resume. So when you're looking for that full-time opportunity or that internship your sophomore, junior year, people are really into that. So it's a great idea. Overwhelming, but we can help.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. I am actually going to bounce back to financial aid because we do have a fantastic question here from one of our parents and or one of our viewers. Are there any additional options for folks who do not qualify for aid through the Fafsa? Loans can't possibly be the only other option, are they?
Troy, yeah, that is a good question, and we do get that frequently. Typically, anyone who completes the FAFSA will qualify for something. Unfortunately, sometimes that something is, only loans. But we try to encourage families to continue their search for private scholarships. But don't stop just because, we've done the FAFSA, so we don't need to do anything else. Continue to look for scholarships. There are so many opportunities that are outside of the institution. So we encourage you to do that. If you navigate over to our website, our new website, Spartan Central, www.uncg.edu.
It looks
and
amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I know it is. You have to give a screenshot later.
Yeah.
But there, under types of aid, there's a listing of different types of aid, and scholarships is one of those. And we have a link to some online databases that you can search for free to look for additional types of aid. I also wanted to mention that you don't want to, you want to make sure that you look into your eligibility for any military affiliated benefits. If your family has military service, either through veterans benefits or through active duty, if someone is still active duty, check for any type of military affiliated benefits, as well as benefits and resources that may be available through vocational rehabilitation services. Many times there are tuition assistance programs offered through that service. So we definitely want to encourage you to do that. And the last thing, if you are, if you say, well, we've gotten loans, but we don't want to do loans, the university offers a payment plan that allows you to pay your tuition, your semester tuition bill, or your semester bill, because you're going to pay, you can put everything on there, and pay that in installments so that you don't have to make the entire payment at once. You can make 4 to 5 payments through the semester to pay that off. And again, you can go to spartancentral.uncg.edu and click on the tuition payment link and go to payment information, payment options, and get more information about that. But yeah, there are other options. And I do understand one of the things that we do struggle with is making sure making our funds stretch to all students. And because we are a high need school, most of our funding has been earmarked for those students who have extremely high need. So sometimes it is a difficult conversation on helping people find other options, but I encourage you to continue to look. Now, here's the good news. Once your student has matriculated through and then they're a continuing student, then there are other opportunities. There are, we have a Spartan scholarship system, which allows our continuing students to apply for departmental and institutional scholarships. That opens up in January. So, be on the lookout for that. So your student can then apply for those scholarships, and those will be effective for the next academic year. But again, that's an opportunity for additional funding. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Fantastic. Yep. There's definitely always some aid. There's always an opportunity, and we are absolutely able to help you out and help you figure that out. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit more about academics. And Andrew, I want to send this question over to you so that way we can get a good answer, because it's a weird question. As a parent, will I be notified if my student is not doing well in class?
Absolutely not.
Okay. How would they know?
They won't know. So parents, I got good news for you and bad news. The good news is you do not have to worry about this. The bad news is you don't get to worry about this. So we are prohibited by law from notifying you of these sorts of things. So
oh, we've lost Andrew. Does anyone else know the answer?
I can speak a little bit to that, Trey.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, there. Oh, I think he's
sorry,
back, actually.
I don't know what just happened.
You're good. You said
sorry,
we're
I was
prohibited by law.
Yeah, so we're prohibited by law from notifying parents of literally anything that has to do with university business. But we will reach out to your student. We're really good at it. We in fact, we pride ourselves in.
Well, there he goes again. Dana, just take us home.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Dr. Hamilton was saying, we do a really good job at the institution to keep students informed about how they're doing in their courses, and also keeping others in student support network informed about how they're doing in their courses. We do that through a platform called Starfish, which is UNCG's early alert technology. And essentially what Starfish is intended to do is allow course instructors to raise what we call alert flags or kudos, which are sort of like thumbs up, to signal to students about how they're doing overall in their courses. Because I think it's easy for students to get a grade on a test. Maybe it's not the grade that they wanted, but I'll do better next time. But then if one test becomes two, or two tests becomes two tests and a homework assignment, that's when instructors are really taking a close eye. And so they'll raise a flag for students if they're concerned about their course attendance, or they're concerned about a low average in a course, or if they're concerned even about non-academic concerns that perhaps students have raised to them individually. And that notification will go to students kind of as a, hey, we're noticing, reach out to me. I want to be here to help you and support you. That notification for those flags also goes to a student's academic advisor. It may also alert any program coordinators if your student is involved in specific programs on campus, scholarship programs, things like that, so that others who are already closely connected to your student at UNCG can provide outreach and support and help get students connected to where they need it most. So unfortunately, you as parents don't get those flags and notifications, but know that those are happening. And and for you to know that that's happening, that's also an opportunity for you to engage in that conversation with your students, checking in with them on a regular basis, and just having that open line of communication. Because if you know that we're noticing and we're reaching out, or when we know that maybe a student is struggling, but we need your student to respond to that as well. And so that's really, I think, where parents and families can continue to be involved, even if you're not directly notified in the same way that your student is, or that others at the university who are here to support your student will be.
Yeah, agreed, Dana. Just quickly, parents, we can't reach out to you, but you can reach out to us. So if you think something's going on, it doesn't look right, your student is not him or herself, send an email, make a phone call, we'll follow up.
Fantastic. It's all about trust and making sure that everyone is staying in communication with each other. Love it. All right. Well, let's go on to our next
Hey,
question.
but Trey, before we go, can we hear from Cynthia on that? I'm interested to see how she followed up with along these lines with her student.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cynthia, what you got for us?
Well, what I did is his senior year, I kind of fell back a little bit, because I know we as parents, we want to always be there to catch them when they fall. But, and we're a military family, so one of the hot button words in the military is resiliency. And so I would just advise parents to allow your student to build up that resiliency, to know that you're going to be there for them when they fall, but also to, what's the word I'm looking for? Resiliency is the word I guess I'm saying. To also build that resiliency so that they know that if they fall, it's not the end all be all. You want to be able to help them to take those baby steps, and knowing that UNCG is there with the resources to help them to build themselves back up, I think will help them a lot.
Definitely. Let's stay, actually, I love the way that you put that, and I love where you were going with it. So let's stay in the academic world for a moment. What kinds of support programs do we offer for students, whether it be, academic support or otherwise?
It's pretty much, Trey, it's pretty much anything you could think of. We offer just all manner of psychosocial support, career support, financial aid support, study support. Kim offers transition support and her team for students making the transition from high school to college, or from other institutions of higher learning to our institution. Dana offers a whole separate set, including academic recovery for students who have struggled. We have tutoring and supplemental instruction and mentoring, and we have special programs for students who are exceptionally low income. We have special programs for students who are first generation in college. I mean, you name it. We have got a community that supports any student that identifies in essentially any way. And then we have some that just are broadly supportive, like our first year experience. So we've made sure that every student on campus can find a community to join, to be a part of, and to flourish with.
Fantastic. I love it. And you're absolutely right, because throughout your entire college journey, you are going to feel the support that we give you, and you're going to be able to make it through. We've got a question here, and this one comes from a live viewer on YouTube. If a first-year student comes in with an Associates of Science degree and will be taking classes within their major and minor, will there be an in-person option for those classes as well? Now, I think we kind of touched on this at the very, very beginning, but let's do a little bit of a recap for our friends who have not seen the beginning of the live stream. What is our plan for the upcoming fall semester? Just in-person, virtual, remote, whatever it is. Who wants to take it?
I'll take it, and maybe Dana can speak to the details of that particular case. But here it is. We're an honest-to-goodness in-person residential university, and we intend to university all of our students as much as possible. So a lot of our students want to be online for various reasons. They have work, they're caretakers for others, they're high risk for certain kinds of things. COVID, of course, is still a concern. We are offering options for those students. They can find them themselves through looking at course schedules, or they can reach out and we'll help them. Students who want to be in person are going to have in-person options. We're still working on all the details, so I would hate to give an exact percentage, but the vast majority of our course section offerings are in person in the fall. In person, distanced at 6 feet, and also currently the plan is to be masked. So we have been very successful, knock on wood, with this strategy for the current academic year. We've had no cases that we know of transmission of the virus in a classroom setting, and we have been holding classes since August.
Fantastic. Dana, you got anything you want to add?
I think he hit the highlights, but I'll just mention that I think regardless of whether students are taking general education courses or courses that are specific to their major or minor, I think there will be, the plan is to offer a variety of courses in a variety of settings to meet the needs, again, as Dr. Hamilton was saying, for students that are interested in in-person learning, as well as those that are interested in maintaining an online presence as well. So the more that you get into your major, the sort of more, I guess, structured many of our programs are, but there will still be a good variety of options that are both in person in the classroom as well as online.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's do a little bit of a recap with our new student transitions and first year experience team. So Kim, give us a little bit of a recap of what Soar is going to look like this coming fall semester, whether it's going to be in person or online or remote. And then I do have a follow-up question, but let's get to that one first.
All right. So Soar is virtual this summer. So we have sessions in June and in August. All those dates can be found on our website. Students will make their reservation through our new student portal. Once you confirm your intent to enroll in Spartan Link, you'll get all the information about how to make your Soar reservation. That reservation is also for a guest or a parent family member, multiple. That's one of the upsides of virtual, is we can have as many guests as our Zoom contract allows, I guess. So sign up. Those sessions will include lots of information about all the resources on campus, things that have to be turned in, deadlines, all that kind of taking care of business stuff, as well as what to look forward to in the fall. As I mentioned earlier, part of that day will be live with current students who are orientation leaders and small groups of other incoming students. So students will have an opportunity to make friends and see faces and get comfortable knowing that they know somebody, so that when they come back in the fall and we are in person, they'll hopefully recognize somebody or have a friend, or at least have somebody they can meet up with. So in August, the Soar sessions are virtual. And then once we finish that, our welcome programs, our plan is to be as in person as possible, of course, following all the guidelines, but we're really excited for our group. We thrive on being right in the mix of students, and part of what we do in transitioning students is, of course, teaching them about the university and making sure that they're comfortable with the transition and getting them to resources. but it's also showing them the campus and also teaching them what it means to be a Spartan and having, there's energy and spirit and color. And that's part of the college experience. And we kind of missed that last year. So we're really ready to get back to that this fall. So we're looking forward to it. So virtual in June, virtual at the beginning of August, in person when students move back in at the start of the fall semester.
Fantastic. And my follow-up question to that is what activities or what streams or information sessions are specifically for parents and family members?
So during Soar, there will be some recorded sessions about some of the same kind of campus resources that we anticipate most family members want to know about. Some of the folks who are here tonight and some additional topics. Also throughout the month of June, we have 5 live dates planned on different topics, and one of which will be for parent and family resources. And so just be on the lookout for those dates and the information around that. But it's kind of anything and everything: how to pay your bill, financial aid, housing and residence life, and moving in and getting ready for that. Parents, how can you be involved? So PFAC and family weekend opportunities, and what will the visitation schedule be like for guests? Last year we couldn't have anybody come to campus to see their students. We'll be waiting for information about that, but we'll be able to give you more and more information about how parents and families can access information and resources and stay connected with their student. So those live sessions will happen throughout the month of June.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Megan, I do have a question here for you. Will a career and professional development counselor be available to help talk with my student about their career path and also a potential major that they should be looking into if they have an idea of what they want to have as their career later on?
Yeah, absolutely, Trey. So I work with a brilliant team of career coaches who are available to work one-on-one with students or in groups with students. So we do a lot of workshops, but also, the career process is so unique to you. So much of your identity is wrapped up in what you want to do for work. And we know that decisions that you make, motivations that you have, those are individualized. And so we do a lot of one-on-one coaching. And those sessions might be 15 minutes, they might be half an hour, they might be an hour long. But we do those in person, we do them on the phone, we do them via video chat. So we are ready to go in every venue you can imagine. We have a lot of partnership in the classroom. So we work with faculty to get into a classroom and talk about practical on-the-job applications of some of the concepts that are going on in the classroom. We do a lot of work with Dana and her team to talk with exploratory students about possibilities and how majors and careers can line up, but don't always have to line up. So we accomplish our goals through a lot of partnership.
Thank you so much. All right, I was muted there. But thank you. It is really a fantastic partnership that we have with so many different career options and so many different majors and students that we have here on campus. It is a wonderful experience to watch and to also go through. Cynthia, as a parent, have you experienced this with your student here at UNCG, or have you experienced this with other students that you know of?
Well, I think that with the pandemic, it caused us to kind of have to start thinking outside of the box. Of course, I can only speak for myself and just the support that we've gotten from UNCG. My son happens to live off campus, and one of his roommates were tested positive for COVID, but we were paying for a unlimited meal plan. So I kind of reached out and, at first I was told there was nothing they could do, but out of the blue, somebody from the dining facility emailed me back, and off campus, they fed my kid for 10 days. So just, there are resources out there. Sometimes the first person that you speak with may not know the answer, but I've never personally, and I'm not one to blow smoke, you can ask people about me. I'm going to tell you like it is. I think that's what Trey appreciates.
Absolutely.
There has there's not been one time that I've reached out to any resource, whether it be beyond academics or anybody on, in other departments, that has not steered me in the direction. If they didn't know, they said they didn't know. And they didn't leave me there. They pointed me in another direction. So, from a parent's point of view, I would just love to reassure parents of incoming students, whether it be freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior, they're always going to be our babies. So I just want I know you guys don't want to hear that. I'm probably older than most of you guys, but, they're always going to be there with some sort of resource. And sometimes that resource is no. And we have to be okay. If no is based in a good thing, then that's okay. And we have to be willing to know that, no is no. So I could talk about UNCG. Like, your kids are going to grow in ways that I couldn't perceive of my own kid. So just that, and I think about when my kid went to Soar, and I was this new parent of a freshman kid. I didn't know what to do, but Soar was great. Everybody in the different departments were great, and the information's out there.
Fantastic. The information is always out there. And I think the motto, at least here in the admissions office, is we're always going to work on you to find a path to figure it out. So we might not have the answer, but we have a path to figure it out. Alrighty, and speaking of paths, let's figure out some more ways to pay for college. So Deborah, what are the scholarship opportunities for new students, and when is the deadline for those applications? And I think we can both kind of tag team this answer, but I'll let you go first for it.
Yeah, I was hoping that you would say that, Trey. For our new incoming students, the scholarship opportunities are based on the admissions application. So once you apply to UNCG, if you apply, correct me if I'm wrong, Trey, if you apply before January 15th,
yep,
correct? If your application was, and at that point you were automatically considered for the scholarships that were available through the Blue and Gold Scholarship Program. There's also another category of scholarships that are available, again, based on your admissions application and completing the Fafsa by January 15th. So those two programs were available to incoming students. Now, unfortunately, that deadline has passed. So at this point, that's why I'm encouraging you to continue your search for private sources of scholarships and private sources of aid. And as I said before, once your student is considered, once they've had a semester under their belts, then they can apply for the continuing students scholarship opportunities that are available throughout various departments and through the some institutional funding that is managed through the financial aid office. Now, I said that through various departments, but there are also other not in addition to the academic departments, there are also scholarships available through other departments on campus, offices on campus. For example, Kim, you guys have a really nice scholarship for first year students that is available to it's in the Spartan scholarship system portal, but it is for students who have completed the first year experience. And if you want to talk about that, I'll yield the floor to you.
Yeah, so we offer, we call them Kecker Scholarships. It's named after the Kecker family, Keker, but we offer it to students who complete a series of success programs. And they vary in topic and time of day offered or virtual or what have you, but students go through a series of programs that we believe kind of rounds out their experience, shows them, different resources on campus, but also exposes them to things maybe they hadn't tried before or haven't considered before. They write a little essay. We have a committee that reviews that, and then we do award a few scholarships out of that, out of the Kecker program. And so it's a great way for our first year students to maybe do a little bit more than they thought they were going to be able to do or comfortable doing. It kind of gets them out of the comfort zone, and then there's a little reward at the end of it if they complete it all. So and there's a lot of scholarship opportunity, and interestingly, we find that some of these scholarships don't get as many applications as we would like to think. So sometimes your odds are pretty good because we encourage students to do it, but they might feel like it's going to be more work than it really is, and so they don't apply, or for whatever reason. So encourage your students to apply, because sometimes between their experience and then the odds are in their favor, they could get some extra money.
I was telling the family the exact same thing the other day. I just said, listen, y'all, there's a secret in the admissions world that we don't tell anyone. We tell everyone. There are scholarships that people just don't apply for because they don't think it applies to them. But go apply for it. It's money. You can't get it if you don't ask. So go for it. Now, I will tell you a little bit more like what Deborah said about the scholarships that are offered through the admissions office, which is where I am. We do have the blue and gold scholarships, as well as the other scholarships that are based on your estimated family contribution, or your EFC. That is the number that you get from filling out the Fafsa. And you do have to apply to UNCG. So you have to fill out the application to come no later than January the 15th. So that deadline is going to stay the same for a while to come. Make sure you apply by January the 15th. So you have to submit your essay with your application, as well as the application itself, and submit the fee or a fee waiver. But we want to know who you are, and we know who you are through that essay. So always make sure that you are sending us that essay, because it really, really does help us to figure out who you are as a person, who you are as a student, and what your life and what your time is going to be like here at UNC Greensboro. So if you want to be qualified or considered for those scholarships, then go ahead and fill out that application and submit the essay by January the 15th. Cynthia, I think I may have saw your hand go up earlier. Did you have anything that you wanted to say about paying for college, or did we kind of cover it all?
You covered it all. I was just going to say, if you don't apply, the answer is always no.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, we are getting to about 9 minutes left in our time together today, so I will go ahead and try to wrap up a couple of our questions, and I'll do it in a lightning round. So anyone who wants to answer, go ahead and go for it. I know this question doesn't necessarily apply to anyone who's on the stream right now, but I think we know the answer. Are freshmen or first-year students required to live on campus?
No.
Good. What is the student-to-faculty ratio?
20-1.
There you go. How accessible are the professors?
Very.
What is the class size?
Depends.
What is the average class size?
Oh,
20-ish?
Depends. It depends. So it really does. So freshman students, you can expect most of your classes to be what I would call very small. But some are larger. So if you're in a biology or chemistry lecture course, that's going to be could be a bigger course. So, but you can look and see. So if you have a preference for smaller sections, you can either work with your academic advisor or work in the schedule. Schedule will tell you what the maximum capacity is for those courses. You have options in a lot of cases.
Absolutely, yes. Alrighty, friends. Well, we're getting close to our time, and in a traditional lightning round, that was real fast. So let's start from the end of our blocks on the screen, and I'm going to go in reverse order from the way that we did it earlier. So let's just give our viewers a little bit of a recap of who you are, how you connect to UNCG, and what your overall impression, what your feel of the university is. So we're going to start in reverse order. Let's talk with Cynthia first, and then we'll end up with Andrew. So Cynthia, go for it.
So once again, I'm Cynthia, and I am the chair of Family I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. I had to mute myself real quick. I am the chair of PFAG, and we are looking for members, and we are also building our social media. So if you can go and check us out on, hold on, I got to look at it so I get it, Spartan Family Engagement on Instagram and Facebook. So I just, I want to reassure you that, our kiddos are going to be okay. UNCG has a lot to offer, and I wholeheartedly can say that I would send another one, even though I don't have one. We're empty nesters. So I would send another one if I could.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cynthia. All right, Megan, tell us who you are, what you do here at UNCG, and what you enjoy about it.
Absolutely. I am Megan Walters. I serve as Associate Director for Career Development. So my team and I help your student get ready for career success. And that happens all throughout college and beyond. And I would say, because I think about people's experiences in terms of their workplace, I will tell you that I have never worked at a place that people are as happy to be affiliated with as they are at UNCG. And it makes a difference in my everyday work and the work I get to do with students. And I have all the faith that your student will experience that when they get here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Megan. All right, Deborah, tell us who you are, what you do here at UNCG, and tell us something that you enjoy about it.
Well, again, I'm Deborah Slade, Assistant Director for Outreach in the Financial Aid Office. And as our name implies, we help students learn and receive, learn about and receive financial aid to pay for college. I also help out with financial literacy as well, working with Kim's first year experience students and their instructors, and teaching them how to manage their money and giving them pointers and tips on doing that, because that is important from a financial aid standpoint, so you don't have loans. I think to echo Megan, yeah, it's a great place to work. I've been here 24 years, and they won't let me leave. So it's been great. And I'm also an alum 2 times. So yeah, I'm just seeped in Spartanness, so. But yeah, it's a great place. And from the Financial Aid Office, I can say that we are committed to helping you and your student navigate through the system, navigate through the process. We are accessible. Although, this past year we've been remote, but we've been able to still complete our processes, do everything that we needed to do. We can still meet with you by phone and virtually. If you need to see somebody to talk with, please do that. And again, I point you to our website, spartancentral.uncg.edu. I'm so proud of that. So please check us out and let us know if you have any questions or concerns. We'd be more than happy to help you.
Fantastic. I think being steeped in Spartan spirit is one of the more difficult tongue twisters of UNCG. Alrighty, Dana Saunders, tell us who you are, what you do here at UNCG, and something that you enjoy about it.
Absolutely. So again, everybody, thanks for having me today. I'm Dana Saunders, and I'm the director of the Students First Office here at UNCG. We're one of several academic advising centers on campus. So I've appreciated being able to talk with you all tonight about the experiences your student will have in building their course schedule and working with academic advisors to map out their curricular experience for the next 4 years. I think what really resonates— I'm not
sure I understand.
Oops, sorry, that's my watch. I think what really resonates with me about UNCG is here on campus, there are all of the opportunities and experiences that a student could find at the largest institution, but there's also the support and the culture of care that you could experience at the smallest institution. So your student we've talked a lot about community. They'll find their community here, and they'll find not only the students that they connect with, but also the faculty and staff that are here to support them along the way. And so I think that's really what makes UNCG unique and the right place for so many students, and why so many of us have been here for such a long time as well.
Fantastic. Well, Siri doesn't understand, but I absolutely do. All right, Kim Souza Peoples, tell us who you are, what you do here at UNCG, and something that you love about it.
Kim Souza Peoples, new student transitions and first year experience. Our department name describes exactly what we do. We help new students transition to the university, and then we support you through your whole first year. Since Cynthia plugged some social, I would encourage your students to go ahead and start following anything that says your first year, UNCG, YFY, UNCG, and you'll start to kind of get a flavor for all the things that we do. So you can start following us now. What I like, well, I like students. I like seeing students. So I'm just really excited to get students. They're here on campus, but I want to see them walking around a little bit more. All the things that everybody else has said. I think this year, I always knew our students were just amazing, but in particular, our students have really impressed all of us. Man, they powered through some really tough stuff, but they did it by following, like they got into the rules. Like they wanted to be here so badly, they didn't risk anything that would force them to go home. And so I think it made all of us look at our students with even more pride. You know, we love our students. We know how hard they work. They're just such fun and good people. But all of us, have been on campus from time to time, and we'd see that one sole student walking all alone, nobody in sight, mask on. I mean, I'm just even more impressed with our students, being able to get through a really difficult year and really value being here on campus, so much so that they kind of would even rat out if they ever heard anything might be going on that shouldn't be going on, because they didn't want anybody to risk them being here with us and on this campus. And I think that speaks volumes to what they get out of this experience at UNCG.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Andrew Hamilton, tell us who you are, what you do here at UNCG, and take us home.
I think if you speak last, you have to say something important. So I'm going to say the most important thing I can think of after I tell you my name and title. I'm Andrew Hamilton. I'm Associate Vice Provost for Student Success and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. That means it's my job to make sure students and families have everything they need to be successful here at the G as they study and then go on to lives of choice and consequence. So here's the most important thing. 120 divided by 8 is not 12. 120 divided by 8 is 15. So the point of that is federal financial aid is 12 hours is full time, but that's not academic full time. If you try to graduate in 4 years, taking 12 hours a term, you have a nasty surprise coming, which is that you're going to be here 5 years. So everybody, 15 hours is the right number. When you come see Dana at Soar, she will hook you up with the right 15 hours.
Fantastic. Alrighty, friends. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Thanks for being panelists on this live stream. And thank you, viewers, for being here and asking amazing questions. We are always happy to help them out. And like Cynthia said, we will always help you out. That is going to wrap us up for this live stream. We are going to be doing Spring Open House. That is coming up this Saturday, March the 27th. You do have to register for that on our website. Just go to admissions.uncg.edu and you can register for it, and it is entirely virtual. We are also having Admitted Spartan Days coming up in April. So if you are an admitted student or if you are family to an admitted student, you can sign them up on our website as well. So friends, we are going to see you soon. I hope that we have answered your questions, but if you haven't gotten your question answered, go take a look at our website because you'll find the answer there. But you can always also text us or call us later on. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk with you again later. Bye.